Two-hander animation as one-hander test cup. This is a literal item in the game right now. You know what this means? Two-hander animation as one-hander test copy. You know what this means? I'm going to attempt to summarize the billions amounts of information we got today in the fastest way I possibly can, but let's be realistic. I have a tendency to kind of mumble on words and say the same thing over and over again. So today we got a crazy amount of information. Phase 2 technically launched on the NA realms. So you see an update in the Blizzard client, and we actually have the class changes. So class nerfs and class buffs. Nerfs would be like Star Surge, no longer having a 36-yard range. Now it's a 30-yard range base, but buffs, or also like the warrior nerfs, warrior damage nerfs. Buffs though, with rogue getting mutilate now being a 40 energy mutilate. I just did that run, and you guys saw me do a 40 energy mutilate run. So it is really, really solid. But on top of that, we saw new things that weren't supposed to be in the game, obviously. So some of the runes were in the game, some of the scrolls were in the game, and some of the books were in the game, and we were able to farm some of these books, like teaching druids revive, and this has now since been removed, but druids were able to get revive. We literally went and farmed this in Scarlet Monastery, so our druids can now resurrect. Also, people were getting aspect of the Viper and any of the other quality of life scrolls or books, and this was all actually coming from Scarlet Monastery Graveyard. We tried some of the other dungeons, only Scarlet Monastery Graveyard was dropping these. This was from a rare spawn in there, and it has actually since been removed. The Scroll of Liminal Passage, I believe, is still in the game. This is teleport to a party member. That's still in the game. There's a ton of things that went in that shouldn't have. One of the biggest ones is Spellfrost, the new ability Spellfrost Bolt.
Oh, that actually looks
and this
cool.
is
Can you just just throw it at me? I want to take a screenshot.
Actually,
of the spells.
pretty dope.
That
Just
actually
look at what
looks
this
cool.
looks like. Okay, Spellfrost Bolt being sent out from farmers. Boom. It looks crazy. Okay, this was found within like 30 minutes
That's
of the
actually
phase
really
launch.
cool. It doesn't.
It has
Oh,
been.
it procs frost.
It has been removed. Okay, this has been removed, but it was in the game. And if we go to people got their first belt rune, this was a late addition to the runes, so people didn't even know fully about this one coming, but this was added to the game. People have found a belt rune. Farmers, I believe, has the ability still, but I think it's grayed out. Although people that have the books like Revive on druids or anything like that nature, Commanding Shout on warriors was also found. Those are usable, and once you use the books, they actually become something in your spell book. So they actually come into your spell book. They are not like a rune or an on-use ability. Now they are anytime you can use them in your spell book, which is amazing. Like I mentioned earlier, Mutilate reduced to 40 energy. Some other changes for classes, and I'm just going to describe this really fast because I showed it on stream, but I don't want to go back and grab those VODs so I can try to summarize things, is druids. Some nice changes for druids. Their class Mangle got nerfed, but Shred got buffed. Also, Rake. The damage from Rake, your damage over time bleed, was buffed. The initial damage it does is buffed, and the tick damage is buffed. And now it also has a modifier so that your actual attack power scales with the damage of Rake. This is really exciting and going to be quite a fun one to test out at the higher levels. So that's actually pretty nice. And Feline Swiftness gives you 30% movement speed. This is actually movement speed inside of dungeons also now. It's not just when you're outside. So that's going to be ridiculous. All right, back to going through everything. Spellfire Bolt can be moved there. The new mounts, we actually got to see all of the new vendor, and I think I actually still have a character there if I do. The new vendor in Hearth Dashabell. The new vendor in STV is there. It does have mounts. There is a tiger mount and a raptor mount that it looks like you can buy on both Alliance and Horde. So Horde players with the tiger and Alliance players with a raptor are going to look awesome. On top of that, it looks like it's going to cost you can get different coins. Like there's copper coins, silver coins, and gold coins. Mounts cost 1 gold coin. Everything else either costs copper coins or silver coins. All of the gear looks like it's costing silver coins, and 100 copper coins equals 1 silver coin, and 100 silver coins cost 1 copper coin or gold coin. Mounts, also normal mounts, went up in cost. They went back up to the normal price for mounts. The 50% XP buff was added to the game, but it has been since removed, apparently. But this was live for quite a while, and it's back. All right, well, the 50% XP buff is back. Discoverer's Delight is back into the game. Dope. That's awesome. All right. Void Pearls. So the trinkets that you have from BFD, there is a vendor now in Booty Bay that sells these trinkets for 75 gold each. They are unique equipped, so you can't have 2 of them on at the same time. You have to delete your old trinket to swap. And this is sorry, they are not unique equipped anymore. They are completely unique, so you have to choose one. So these are for 75 gold each. They are very expensive. Very, very expensive, but it makes sense. Okay, we need some gold dumps, and some people have infinite gold. If we're just being honest, people have infinite gold. Like it's 75 gold. It's pretty expensive, but like whatever, people have infinite gold. But now you don't need to use the same trinket forever if you got the wrong one or you want to respec. Past that, XP from Marks of Honor, XP from the actual battlegrounds. If you've done battlegrounds, the turn-ins for this have been completely nerfed, like literally shut off completely from 25 all the way to level 40. It's worded really weird in the blue post saying we're going to suspend XP gain from turning in Marks of Honor at level 25. That has been actually fully taken away. Okay, it's worded weirdly, but Mads BK asked the question, does this mean that this is removed from level 25 to 40? You won't get XP? Agrand has replied on Twitter, correct. That is correct. I think this was the funniest reply that we saw today. He said, I don't have a ton of sympathy for folks who plan to abuse a quality of life feature like mail recovery to blast from 25 to 40 in less than an hour. Call it what you want, but an exploit is an exploit. I'm sorry, not sorry if anyone wasted their time doing this nonsense. Get owned, everybody. Get owned. Okay, that is a big change. All right, outside of that, we're looking at more changes, guys. Let me move all right, let me move myself. The gear, the tier set gear, mainly actually the big one, the big change is coming from the leather gear, or the how do I put this? The profession gear. Okay, the profession gear has been nerfed or reworked, more so reworked. Okay, the leather helm was going to be bits for warriors. Warriors were going to love to use this leather helm. 14 strength, 14 agility, 14 stamina, and the proc chance giving you 1 hit as well as 20% attack power. This thing is crazy, right? Well, it's been changed. The strength is completely gone. Now it is 14 agility, and there is a new proc on it, or there's a new thing on it that says +3 to weapon damage. This is amazing for rogues, dagger rogues in particular, and I have received confirmation that this will also apply to feral druids. So this is gonna be sick. This is gonna be sick. Warriors, go back to wearing plate gear, okay? Get the fuck out of here, all right? Warriors are doing 10 billion DPS. Go wear your plate gear. So this plate helm that you're seeing right now, this now says, if you see it right now, it says 16 strength, 16 stamina. It has been changed to 20 strength and 14 stamina, just as a base, so you guys know. The mail helm, which was 11 strength, 10 agility, has been reworked to be right here. You can see there's no strength or agility on here at all. It is now 32 attack power on here. Okay, 32 attack power. So this is another thing that has been reworked. Past that, there are scrolls. Like I mentioned earlier, scrolls were all being found and farmed in Scarlet Monastery Graveyard. The boosts to the waylaid supplies, kind of significant. This is counting the 50% buff, but this was a level 2 waylaid supplies, a rank 2 of the waylaid supplies, which used to give, I don't even know, someone can tell me, was it like 60 XP, 120 XP? It gave 3000 XP. 180. Okay, it gave 3,000 XP. I would wager this is a catch-up mechanic, and past level 25, they won't have these be too strong. Now, I don't know, but you can now stack these. They are no longer unique, and you can have up to 12 of these on your person at a time. If you stack them already, you could have as many as you wanted, but you can now have up to 12 of them. That is a crazy amount of experience, so we will see if that persists past level 25, because that's a lot. That's a lot of XP. That imagine though, that is counting the 50% buff that you have, but still it's a lot. Might as well stack 15 of these, or 12, sorry, but these are no longer unique, and you can't turn in them if they are not completed. You have to be completed them. Okay, boom, moved on past that. And gear, is there anything else to say about gear? I guess not really. There were some other changes about gear, some minimal changes that I don't know if everyone's noticed yet, so I don't really want to like talk about it. Shaman Sims, early version Shaman Sims last night had them doing 454 DPS against Warlocks that are simming like 860 DPS on a 60-second fight. If Warlocks have crit, they're going to go crazy. But Shamans also did get some crazy buffs. This is just a funny thing. This is super early alpha sims for Shamans, enhanced Shamans. So it's not like what their DPS will actually be. But that is a Warlocks and Warriors are looking to do currently from simulations by far the most DPS, as well as actually, let me go show you guys this chat over here. You're gonna be a melee hunter. Melee hunters are actually looking pretty crank right now, currently, and current iterations of simulations. Melee hunters are looking pretty crank, which is gonna be interesting to see. We also saw today, obviously, that the bosses in Gnomeregan will not be bleed or poison resist or immune. That is going to be a big thing. Bracers, Exalted Warsong Gulch Bracers currently aren't in the game, and I believe that is just because we're not like level 40. You can't find them. It's currently not in the game, but I believe they will be in the game. So just be aware. I think they will be there. I'm pretty confident they will be there. But I think that's everyone.